What is up, everybody? It's Chris again. I just wanted to give you a little update about Twitter. It seems like there's just some crazy things going on over there. It's like the wild, wild west. Elon is going insane. Everybody's going insane. We got things like ranch being posted. We got girls and their sons putting eggs on their head. I don't know what's going on there. We got this was very interesting. Elon Musk tweeted to Hillary Clinton some article about Paul Pelosi. I still don't know this story. I haven't looked into it, but apparently somebody attacked the Pelosi's, and they're blaming QAnon and far right people, but people are saying it could have been like a false flag type of thing. So Elon is like tweeting Hillary about it. So I don't know what's going on with that. And then we got people grifting and like trying to get jobs with Elon. Oh wait, that's me. I'm trying to grift and get a job with Elon. Sort of. Actually, this other woman was trying to get a job. She looks like she has really good credentials. And then I responded. I was like, yeah, me too. Maybe I'll be the coffee getter or something like that. I mean, okay, I have like other skills too, other than grabbing coffee. But really, I'm not like a software engineer or anything. So I don't know what I could actually do there. Maybe I could like shoot behind the scenes footage or like be their official YouTuber. Twitter, I'm gonna be your official YouTuber. I'm gonna do the behind the scenes YouTubing for you. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Elon Musk fired Twitter execs. We already know this, but he fired them for cause. I have no clue what that means. But apparently it's a way where he can avoid paying the severance. So we heard the other day where he was going to pay the CEO, the COO, whoever they are, millions of dollars for them to depart, their severance pays. Apparently there's a way he can do it where he doesn't have to pay them, and it's called for cause. That's all I know. I just thought it was interesting, and it makes sense if he wants to avoid paying them, partially because he probably does not have good relationships with them, so he's like, F them, but probably because he's a businessman and he's going to try to save as much money as possible in any way that he can. So if he doesn't have to pay these people, he probably doesn't have any like good relationships with them. So if he did, it might be a different story. It sounds like he's going to try to do that. We'll see. I don't know if I saw a response from him saying this wasn't true. There's been several tweets going on that were saying one thing, and then Elon Musk is saying something else. So here's another one right here. Elon Musk has denied a New York Times report about laying off Twitter employees at a date earlier than November 1st to avoid stock grants due on the day. And so this is different than the other one with the CEO and the whoever else was fired. This is regular employees. The tweet says the layoffs at Twitter would take place before November 1st date, when employees were scheduled to receive stock grants as part of their compensation. Such grants typically represent a significant portion of employees' pay. Elon Musk says this is false, so it doesn't look like he's actually going to try to fire employees before November 1st date, so that they can't get their stock grants, their compensation. So that's all we know as far as this goes. At least that's all I know. So again, wild, wild west here. So many things going on in Twitter land. I'm actually pretty stoked to be following Twitter and what's happening, because it's just kind of fun. I'm online all the time with my work, and what I do involves social media like all the time. So it's just something that finally it has become somewhat interesting as far as like these social media platforms goes. They've all, to me, gone kind of stale, and it's just like more of the same thing. YouTube just got an update, which it looks a lot nicer, and there's some new features, so that's really cool. But this Twitter thing is like the most interesting thing going on right now. It's like the biggest, I guess, shift that we've seen in a while with social media platforms. I was trying to find out a little bit more about what Elon was going to do with Twitter. And this article right here from Financial Times gives a little bit of detail as far as that goes. So it says that his goal was to overhaul Twitter because it wasn't reaching its full potential. Yes, we know he changed his name to Chief Twit. And he had grand plans to inspire a faster pace of product innovation and shift into new revenue streams while transforming to a leaner operation. All right, that sounds like a bunch of corporate speak, but really, yeah, it does explain that he is trying to change the product, innovate, change it so that he can get more money and then lean it down. It just sounds like something generic that some corporate person would say. He goes on to say that he's not going to be elevated to a crucial political gatekeeper, given Twitter's outsized importance among politicians and campaigns. Some experts are fearful that his leadership could do more harm than good. Okay, but Twitter was already gatekept before by the previous, CEO and whoever was in charge, right? So all this is doing is changing who's being the gatekeeper. It was already being gatekept, just in a different way by different people. So the question is it being gatekept? The question is who is gatekeeping and what their policies are and what their beliefs are. Musk identifies as a free speech absolutist. This website right here tells us what a free speech absolutist is. Free speech absolutists believe that in order for a nation to be considered autonomous, the people should be able to express themselves freely about matters related to self-governance without any limitation being placed on speech by governments or the state. So this doesn't specifically say about like private companies and stuff, but I imagine if you're saying you're a free speech absolutist, you tend to have those views with anything you do, or with companies that you run or work with. You probably want to have those views with whatever it is you're doing. The article goes on to say he's going to toss out permanent bans. We knew that already. He's likely going to move Twitter to a fairer, less centralized system for moderating content towards user-defined content moderation. He already mentioned that he wants to be not on either extreme. He wants the content moderation to be either more in the center or more of a mix of people, where there's like, say, right-wing people, left-wing people, and then like people in the middle. So maybe a spectrum. And also this says user-determined content moderation. So maybe he's saying he's going to take that power to moderate content and give it more to the users. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, why don't more companies do that? Like, I'm fine moderating the content that I want to see or don't want to see. I don't necessarily need someone else moderating it for me, like babysitting me. I can like determine what I want to see or not see. Musk inherits a company that has long struggled to grow at the same pace as rivals or develop a compelling advertising offering, according to multiple people in the industry. I don't know how much Twitter has, made over the years as far as their net profit. But it sounds like, and I've heard this before multiple times, it sounds like they don't make a lot of money, if anything. Musk and investors were obviously overpaying, which is very odd and interesting at the same time to me. I don't know what he's thinking as far as like why he was overpaying. Maybe he just really wanted it and Twitter wasn't going to let it go, or the owners weren't going to let it go unless he paid top dollar. Or maybe it was a matter of timing, where he was like, he wants to get it done early, maybe before the elections. Musk says that Twitter needs to get healthy and he would cut jobs and costs to deliver this. So we already know it looks like he's going to be firing, 75% of the people. Musk is also likely to gut Twitter's relaxed remote working culture in favor of the long hours in office workplaces that he's known to run at other companies, which could lead to clashes with staff. Yeah, we've seen videos on like TikTok and whatnot of workers going to work and they're like, this is what it's like working at Twitter. There was another one, this is what it's like working at Meta. And it's like this girl that like goes to work and like gets her coffee at the bar and then goes up to the rooftop and relaxes and then goes into the other room and gets a massage and then goes and get her chai latte or whatever. And then it's like, and they just make it look like it's obviously the videos that they put out there on TikTok are meant to look like, oh, it's such a really cool place to work. They're kind of like showing off where they're working and stuff. That's, whatever, cool. But they also just make it look like they don't do anything. Like, do they actually work? So, and apparently, according to this, they maybe have a really relaxed work culture where they don't really do much. So it sounds like there's going to be less people, but they're going to be actually working, the correct amount of hours that most people work. And so my guess is that's going to increase you know, how much money they make, right? I mean, it only makes sense. Musk has hinted that he wants to build a WeChat-style super app. And he says, buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. These are apps that typically allow users to message, shop, send payments, or order taxis all in one place, and are popular in China, where antitrust laws are less stringent than the US. I don't know what kind of apps those are. He said they're popular in China. I'm not sure what would be the equivalent here. It sounds like it might be like a combination of Uber and Twitter and I don't know what else. He promises to quintuple revenues by 2028 to 26.4 billion compared to with 2021, and reaching 931 million users, up from about 238 million today. And then the boost is going to come from new payment business as well as subscriptions and data licensing. And I saw a tweet from someone who was like, hey, maybe it was him or maybe it was someone else, and it was like, would you pay money for Twitter, the check mark, the verification? And I was like, bro, what is the point of the check mark then? Because first of all, it seems like it's kind of meant to be as part of an exclusive club, right? That's kind of like when you see a check mark, that's what you think. But I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be for in general, other than that. But what I imagine it's supposed to be for is to verify whether you're a real person or not. So I don't exactly know. Right now, it seems like it's just kind of this exclusivity type of thing. So the question is, well, if you allow people to just pay to get the check mark every month, then it ceases to become that. It's no longer an exclusivity thing. It's more of just you're just paying for, you know, an app service at that point. Or if it was meant to be as something to verify you as a real person, then why would you need to pay for that? You just go through like a verification process like that other websites do to verify you're a real person. You send like a photo of yourself, your ID, and all this stuff. So what would be the point of that at that point? It would just be a subscription at that point for Twitter. Cryptocurrencies might form part of Musk's payment plans. Yeah, I could definitely imagine him using crypto and blockchain type stuff for Twitter, simply because he's big into cryptocurrency, right? And so I wonder if he's going to bring Doge into it somehow. That'll be weird. I can imagine like NFTs being part of it. And then there's talk of him turning it into some sort of banking entity because he was a co-founder of PayPal. So that might make sense. He wants to shift away from relying so heavily on advertising in the future. So there's going to be less advertising, but there's going to be other forms of payments that are going to help make money for Twitter. Some advertisers are already nervous that Twitter will no longer remain a safe place for brands if it becomes a hotbed of toxicity and abuse. Well, there's kind of always been toxicity and abuse on every platform, but I guess that we'll see if advertisers are okay with the new additional toxicity and abuse, since you know, a lot of that has been quashed or quelled in the past. And now that everybody has more of an option to say whatever they want to say, people are going to say whatever they want to say. And so we'll see what advertisers do. I'm assuming that some of them are not going to want to be part of Twitter because there's going to be more freedom for people to say negative things or whatever they want to say. However, it sounds like Elon Musk already thought about that. And as we said before, he's going to be having other ways to make money other than advertising. That's my guess, is that's probably why he was like, oh, we're gonna find other ways to make money, is because he probably knows that there's gonna be advertising that's not gonna want to be part of Twitter anymore. So that's about it. I just wanted to get an update on what was going on with Twitter, because I know that there's gonna be a lot of things going on every day. And so I'm just kind of keeping tabs on things. There's gonna be drama on Twitter, especially this next week, starting tomorrow. My guess is there's going to be people fired. There's going to be people hired. There's going to be new policies. Who knows what's going to happen, but I'm here for it. And I'm going to be checking it out and seeing what's going on. So check out my last video where I looked up what happens if you own Twitter stock and what's going to happen to it. If it hasn't happened already, it's going to be sent to you, but go ahead and watch that. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.